in Sports Day. Stay tuned to catch a special program hosted by ESPN's Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman all month long on 100.5 ESPN. Wisconsin men's basketball is back in the win column after a dominating 88-62 win over the Washington Huskies last night. The Badgers now 22-6. They sit in third in the Big Ten standings, just 1.5 games back from first place. This sets up a big game on Sunday when the number 11 Badgers take on the number 8 Michigan State Spartans in East Lansing. Tip time is set for Sunday at 12:30, nationally televised on CBS. Another big matchup at the Kohl Center tonight as Wisconsin women's basketball will face number 2 ranked UCLA tonight. That game will tip off at 7 p.m., streaming over on Peacock. The Milwaukee Bucks ended their 3-game win streak after the NBA All-Star break, falling 100-97 over the Houston Rockets last night. The Bucks are back in action tomorrow when they take on the Denver Nuggets. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 6:30 right here on 100.5.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's her.
I'm the cloud from
Mister.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, the sports fan version of Matt is way more relatable than the sports fan version of Jim Rutledge or me. You're thinking like a radio host, which means a hardcore radio and sports person. Matt's thinking like somebody that has a job doing something else that also likes sports.
That's Matt's whole charm.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. No Molly Brown, she's out with babies, but now we are less than a week away. My days are off. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you in the Everlight Solar Studio, along with Primetime Wollersheim. Shout out to Alex G filling in last minute yesterday. Everything is as good as it can be, but I was out. Full disclosure, my youngest daughter had to go to UW Health emergency room, something with her eyes, but sounds like everything will be okay as much as it can be when you go to the emergency room. But I will give a shout out the entire staff at the UW Health. This would have been the pediatric emergency room. Amazing. Really did a great job of making us feel comfortable, make her feel comfortable. So shout out to the folks at UW Health, and all things considered, things working out well. And I'll tell you this much, even with maybe a little bit of blurriness in her eye, she's more athletic than Alex Strouf.
What a twist. I'm glad she's okay, Jim.
Yes.
So let me start there before we start absolutely tearing Strouf apart.
Yeah.
I'm glad your daughter's feeling better.
Yes.
And it was more of a scare, but
it was scary.
On the right track.
It was very scary yesterday. It's not all the super scary stuff is off the table. There might be a few things she has to work through going forward, but all things considered, a big sigh of relief. But the people that listen, obviously you guys were aware. The people that listen are important to this show. We try to be as transparent as we're comfortable being. And so I will share that. And I didn't know how to transition out of it. So I just transitioned into dunking on Alex Strouf there.
No idea.
Primetime Wollersheim has a good idea for a poll question, a silent limited poll question we're going to get to in a minute. But I'm sure they were talking about it on KBN. We were doing show prep, so I haven't heard much of their show. I saw Wildy and Tausch. Maybe we can get up that audio. I kind of just dropped that on Ryan right now, but where the reaction of Mark Tauscher mid-show. So ESPN Milwaukee had Alex Strouf with Mr. Irrelevant basically trying to do a combine thing. And this is something we've done multiple times. Gabe Neitzel, I think, ran sub 4.540 back in the day. He kind of bet he could do it.
Sub 4.5?
I believe. I think it was sub 4.5. I know it was sub 4.6, but I believe it was sub 4.5. This was, Gabe's, this was a few years ago.
Yeah, Gabe's like 6'4", maybe.
Oh, no, he's not.
6'3". He's taller than I am.
Oh, I thought
I'm
you guys were
6'2".
I thought you guys were the same height.
I think he's a little taller than me. Like, I'm not surprised that guy can move.
But he played, he played ball at Platteville. Owns a record for I think 2 triples in a 1 inning. That's an NCAA record. So he's got some speed to him.
Yeah,
and he's always stayed athletic.
Okay.
So, it could have been a 4.6, but I felt like he did it 4.5 because 4.5 is truly remarkable. 4.6 is still good, but like 4.5, you're like, all right, you could be. You're not going to the combine, but that's a good number.
4.6 is pretty dang good for any normal human being, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Like for an NFL athlete, yeah, that's kind of on the slower side.
Yes.
That's like A.J. Dillon speed,
Yes.
but that's still A.J. Dillon speed.
Yes, and again, I don't know. Either way, Gabe Neitzel, we agree, faster than A.J. Dillon, at least at that point when Gabe ran that thing there. Alex Strouf, not so much. So they're having Alex Strouf run through a combine sort of thing. And it gets worse with each video posted. It actually makes me question everything. I feel like Alex Strouf is a liar, Matt, because Alex said that he played soccer and basketball and ran cross country as a kid.
There's no, I almost think this video's fake.
All right, so
it's so bad.
Yeah, so we're going to get to the video in a minute. But during the show of Wildy and Tausch, Mark was just distracted, as you have been known to do. And he just could not get over how bad the video of Alex Strouf running the 3-cone drill is, and we'll have that up at our ESPN Madison YouTube at some point too. But let's hear Mark Tauscher on Wildy and Tausch react real time when this video of Alex Strouf running a 3-cone drill was posted.
I just saw a post from ESPN Milwaukee, which has to be our social media queen, Maddie Hayes.
She does good work.
Of what looks like, it looks like Strouf running a 3-cone drill.
Oh, he's doing the scouting combine drills for Mr. Irrelevant.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone skinny enough, so skinny. The athleticism, the lack of athleticism there is daunting. Like, did you watch that?
It's so
I did not,
bad.
because I was putting together my tweet to invite people on Twitter to join the YouTube conversations. Wait a minute. Are you suggesting that skinny people are usually more athletic because they're in good shape?
Well, I think if you're going to stereotype, I would.
You're a good athlete.
They're typically,
but you're not skinny.
They're typically better. They're typically better runners. I guess.
What
I would
a
say.
shot! Cringe. Wow, Jason. This isn't about Tausch. You don't have to call my boy Tausch out.
Rubbish.
You're not skinny, Jason.
Right.
Shut up. He wasn't running the 3-cone drill.
That is true. I think he was trying to get to that. Tauscher in his prime was athletic.
Yeah.
I think the nickname was like a dancing polar bear or dancing bear.
I'd be willing
Tauscher.
to bet that I think Tauscher could go out and do better than that.
I don't want to. If he couldn't, it'd be because of just the age of and having played in the NFL.
Yeah, those knees might be in worse
Tausch
shape.
does have bad knees, I believe.
Yeah. So like that would be the case against it. He would definitely look more athletic though. He might not be able to do it faster. He would look more athletic doing it, even with bad knees.
This looks so terrible.
So you can go to the ESPN Madison YouTube. You can see it on ESPN Madison Twitter. I'm sure we've retweeted. Otherwise, on ESPN Milwaukee Twitter. Again, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge, and we're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
And
the same way Alex crushes this 3-cone drill.
Alex Strouf looks like he would have a better excuse if he had crushed a case of Coors Light before doing this drill. So he looks like someone that, like the movie Pinocchio, where a toy comes to life. And this is the first time the toy has run. Not only does he not look like he's done anything athletic in his life, it almost looks like he's never watched sports in his life, because you could just ape what you see other people do as far as with their arms. So, Matt, I'm going to run. If we can get some NFL films running up, I want to get I'm putting Matt on this, like a Mel Kiper sort of thing. But the first question, and maybe this is a Jim, Matt, and Molly poll question, I want to get to the Saturday Unlimited question about which producer is the least athletic, but I like this question as well. Prime, I want you to answer this, but do you think Matt Hamilton could run a more athletic-looking 3-cone drill on ice than Alex Strouf on the court?
I've seen Matt on the ice when he's curling, like in between going down ends of the sheet, and he's pretty fluid. He's smooth.
Yeah.
Now, the only question is, can he turn?
Yes.
The turn is how can he turn quicker than Mr. Alex Strouf?
Alex Strouf did not turn quickly.
The trick would be the direction we're doing the 3-cone drill. Like, obviously, it's shaped like an L. if I had my gripper foot from curling on the inside of that L, I could absolutely destroy him in this for speed.
All right, I'll take it.
Even on the bad side, I think I could do pretty good. It'd be closer because it would look awkward.
And even if you didn't do well on the turns themselves, there's no way you wouldn't beat him straight up on the straightaways. Well, you would catch up and you would gain time on him. For sure.
I mean, I kind of want to run a 3-cone drill, like legit.
I want to see you running on the ice because I think it's even more embarrassing for Alex.
I might be able to set up a 3-cone drill on the ice. I'll go around rocks instead of cones.
It would be more embarrassing for Alex. That would be honestly an amazing. If we need to, maybe we can get someone to come out or get one of your teammates out there to shoot it because honestly, it looks like he's running on ice. So if you're not on the ESPN Madison YouTube page, Alex Strouf, I'm going to have you give a breakdown of it. You can describe the lack of athleticism here for our fans to use dazzling details.
Yeah.
But if you're just at home, just picture someone who drew a stick figure and then tried to animate it running on ice. That's the way that I would describe Alex Strouf. Running on an athletic looks like a pickleball type court.
It is. It's definitely a pickleball court, and Alex looks like a superior pickleball player.
All right, so it's going to start back over right now, and I'll start breaking it down, Matt Hamilton.
Okay, so Alex takes off this pickleball court, completely vertical, and I will say, I'm pretty sure in the 3-cone drill, there's supposed to be some shuffling. There's supposed to be some attempts at touching a cone. Alex's body stays upright. And you know how when you run, especially into a sprint, you really get like leaning forward? Alex looks like he's running a marathon here because he is completely vertical, tiny steps. Like there's no lunge involved. These corners is just like 8-9 steps to make a 90-degree corner. It's so awkward looking.
That's why it looks like he runs on ice, but also he claimed to have played soccer and basketball. I'm sorry. At any level, you would have better footwork around that cone. It should take you at a bare minimum, even not athletic, half the amount of steps to get around that cone that it took him to do it. He constantly looks like he's running on ice because it looks like his feet are going to spin out from underneath
When
him.
he tells us he played basketball and played, like now I'm starting to think he was the equipment manager, and at the end of the season, varsity gave him like a couple minutes, and it was that feel-good story where the other team hears about it and they don't play defense on him.
They let him shoot,
they let him shoot. If he misses, they like pass it back to him so he can do it again.
The kid with the heart condition.
So,
yes. Which is a true thing that Alex Strouf had as a kid.
So this is really just Make-A-Wish now? That's what we're turning
I mean, a little bit.
Right now.
I was
how
just
bad
thinking,
were his high school sports teams if he had any sort of legitimate...
It was legitimately, it's letting your equipment manager play.
And I understand where he went to high school, probably could have been D5 or something like that, but like...
No way. Like, there are children more athletic than
my
this.
8-year-old could absolutely, let alone my 12-year-old, absolutely run the cone drill better. Without a doubt.
This is...
He also...
That's the reason I'm like... I accuse this of being fake, because it doesn't even look like he's trying to move athletically at all.
So
if this is 100% genuine, and I will shoot Alex a text in the break and find out for sure if this is genuine or not, because it is so bad. It is embarrassing just to be an ESPN teammate. The fact that he works for a sports network and that is his idea of an athletic cone drill is a mockery of sports.
Yeah, again,
no idea.
It looks like he runs and moves like someone who's never watched sports in their lives. Because if you just watch sports, you'd ape what you've seen. Matt, Alex is famous on this show. Back when I was Rutledge and Hamilton, for how many swings and misses did he have in a row when we golfed out at U Ridge?
It was like 11 or 12.
11 or 12 swings and misses in a row.
Now, to be fair, the ball was, we were on the fairway. The ball was a little below his feet.
Okay.
Awkward situation in a golf world. Not impossible by any means.
It is on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. I mean, Matt, I think you're overplaying how much the ball was below his feet.
Or maybe it's above his feet. It's not completely even, but it's so bad.
It looks fake. We had plenty of people ask us, and again, this is on ESPN Madison YouTube, and maybe we could tweet this out over the Milwaukee one or something like that.
So I will say Ben Bruss did already tweet it out.
Okay, good.
He got to us first.
Okay, that's fine then. Good. I'm just glad it's out there. I want our fans to be able to see it. So Alex Strouf missing all those swings. And that was the only one. There was another time off the tee, he missed like 3 times. Now, that's the one you're like, okay, you don't golf a ton, now you're in your head. But missing it 11, 12 times, like, step away, just turf it. Like, you could do something just to reset there. So Alex Strouf, and this is the poll question I want to get to in a second here, but in this video and in the other video, you're laughing because Alex throws the ball at some point.
Yeah, he gives up on trying to hit it and just throws it.
So
and the throw looks equally unathletic.
Right.
To every other movie's made.
Right. Honestly,
so bad.
It wouldn't have been surprising if that ball was just piped into the ground. Like when he went to go throw it, it just goes smack on the ground. But the athletic stance, it doesn't exist in the golf swing.
No.
And it doesn't exist in running. Again, he runs so upright. I feel like I would injure myself trying to run like that because just like your back would get out of whack. It just does not.
It just looks like the way you'd run if you were trying to like gear up to run like 5 miles.
Right.
Like you're standing upright. You're not leaning into the stride. You're just trying to like find balance and kind of just like start getting into that like coast mode. And he just looks like he was coasting through it. There was no aggression in any step. Like that first step, I want to think that your back foot that you're taking off on is mad at the ground.
Yes.
Like I want every step to think that the ground underneath you has done you wrong. It stole your lunch money when you were a kid, and now you get your revenge. That's the way you should be stepping through this.
And then Alex Strouf running the 40-yard dash.
It's so bad. He tried to run the 40-yard dash. 6 seconds, 6.28.
Wow.
This is...
And again, I don't know what I could do, but Alex Strouf is a young man. And
what is it, 27, 28? Something like that?
I believe he's 27 now because I think he's 2 years older than I am. And he runs like an old man who's trying not to hurt himself.
So here's the other part.
He looks like he's playing
So
scared.
the 40-yard dash is on ESPN Madison YouTube. And so if you're wondering, he ran a 6.2 40-yard dash.
2.8. 6.3.
Oh, yeah, 6.3 40-yard dash. That's what offensive line. That's worse than, like, an offensive lineman is undraftable if they run that.
Yeah.
I was an offensive lineman in high school. I ran a 5.9 40-yard dash. No, not even a 5.9. I ran a 4.9, I believe. Like, that's not even relatively close to athletic.
I would like to throw this out there to our listeners. You've heard Ryan a ton. He does not look like a lineman in any way, shape, or form.
At the time, I was a lineman.
No, I believe it. Now you look like a quarterback.
His build is similar to Strouf's.
A kicker, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. Nowadays, my build is similar to Strouf's. I would run, I could say, a good second faster in the 40-yard dash. No doubt. No stretching, even.
Well, that's
no stretching.
This gets me into
that sounds dangerous.
Our Siding Unlimited poll question.
That's what it looks like he did.
Right? Our Siding Unlimited poll question is, who is the least athletic? Do you want to like who's the most athletic or least athletic of ESPN Wisconsin producers?
ESPN Wisconsin producers, man, it's gonna be easy to take pot shots. I think we need to ask least athletic because this is in honor of Alex Strouf. Because if it's most athletic, he's not on the poll question.
True,
he's nowhere near the poll question.
So in honor of Alex Strouf and his horrible 40-yard dash, we're gonna ask you, who do you think the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer is? We're going with just an order: Josh DiMaggio, into Jesse Nelson, into Alex Strouf, into primetime.
I feel like, honestly, I don't even want Josh in the category. I think it's a battle between Jesse and Strouf. It really is.
Well, you got to be a part of it too.
I can be in there too if people want to vote for me.
I guess if you want to make it true, then ESPN Wisconsin, it would be between those two.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it's those two.
Okay, then we'll make it truly ESPN Wisconsin, the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer, Jesse Nelson or Alex Strouf.
I did get a response from Alex Strouf.
Okay.
I said, tell me that cone drill was fake. And he goes, it was real, unfortunately. Granted, it was my first attempt. I was feeling things out and laughing, but it was cringe.
Yeah, but Alex,
bro, I was feeling things out. Like what? Were you afraid? Honestly, it would have been better if you just went for it and tore a hammy.
Right, yes.
At least you could have been like, yeah, I tore a hammy, but I was going for it.
Yeah, it doesn't. He doesn't give off the look of like a jog. Like if you were kind of just like, all right, I'm going to kind of jog through this, work my steps out, and then how do I want to turn this corner? Like he's running. Like if you were, I would buy it more if he's just like, all right, I'm going to kind of here. I'm going to turn this corner. I want to put my foot here and put my foot there, and then turn back, come up, and like that's how I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'd buy that, but that's not what he's doing in the video. He is running. What looks like full speed for him. 844-770-3776. Jesse Nelson does chime in that he might have to reevaluate his life if he loses
this one. And honestly, I think this is going to be a dead heat.
Well, here's the thing. I know that unequivocally, Jesse Nelson, whatever you think about bowling, could bowl better than Alex Strouf.
Yes, 100%.
And so,
I've seen Alex bowl.
I can't see Alex Strouf doing anything athletic at this point. If he can't bowl, he can't golf, he can't run, what can he do athletically? Because we have documented proof that he can't run, that he can't bowl, and he can't golf. So those are not the only sports out there, but that's kind of a smattering of sports.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't see the athletic movement in his system.
No. 844-770-3776. That's how you get into the show on the Siding Limited poll question. Who is the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer? Alex Strouf or Jesse Nelson? And that's the Carbless Talking text line. List is more. 844-770-3776. I'll tell you what. Strouf, even if he did it only when he came back to Madison, go seeing the folks over at Carbon World Health, the boy needs to add some muscle mass along with athleticism. Carbon World Health could do both for those. Like Carbon World Health for Alex Strouf specifically, because you don't have to go there and be Matt Hamilton, an Olympian, or me, just like a weekend warrior type. And there are UFC fighters that go there. Some Badgers use it for the cryotherapy. Recovery. Like there is a smattering of different types of athletes there. There's the weekend warriors. There are the people trying to get into shape. I don't know what to describe Alex Strouf, because with Mark Tauscher, he was talking about how Alex Strouf, if you just eyeballed him because he's skinny, you'd be like, oh, he's in shape. But he's not. Like he is... It honestly looks like he needs to do some physical activity. But if he went to Carbon World Health, you just build it up over time. They do it like if you sign up for the 6-week experience, you'd show up. You honestly do simple things like Alex has done. They'll run you through some baseline testing. Like
what combine.
What can you do?
Individual combine.
Yes.
Find out where you're at before they decide where you're trying to go.
And the dramatic increase that everyone sees, but especially Alex Strouf would see over there, would be remarkable. So maybe do what Alex Strouf should have done and call Carbon World Health and get into the best shape that you want to be in. CarbonWorldHealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, Carbless Mango Vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4-packs of the new Carbless Mango Vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Matt Buckman from Cambridge High School. You're a Blue Jay.
Yep.
What's it like to be a Blue Jay?
Oh, it's great. The support from everyone here in the school, it's a great place to be.
Play football and also golf. You had a conference championship in football.
Yep.
Going for a conference championship in basketball.
Yep.
So going for the trifecta this year, right?
Yep.
All 3. How does football impact basketball and golf, and how do they kind of relate for you?
Our football coach, Coach Nellis, he always preaches to all of us about how important it is to be 3-sport athletes. And he likes to take guys who played in the Super Bowl and say, well, like 80% of those guys played 3 sports in high school. And so I think there is like some truth to that.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates National Girls and Women in Sports Day all month long. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin's special program, Lead Her Forward, hosted by Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman, presented by Love Madison Volleyball. The show features a variety of special guests celebrating the achievements of women in sports. Listen to inspiring stories and hear how they're breaking barriers for future generations. Catch Lead Her Forward on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
I got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I hit strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. Hi ho, the merry-o. That's the
Alex Strouf taking his chance at singing
music?
there. Well, that's him singing, I thought.
This is walk-up music. This is what he listened to get hyped for that.
This is what was playing.
drill.
This is what should have been playing anytime Alex did anything for his combine at ESPN Milwaukee. 6.3 40-yard dash. A incomplete cone drill is how I'd look at that. We are Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly Brown's out. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Lorsheim with us as well. We do have a Carbless Talking text line opportunity for you to get in, 844-770-3776. List is more. You can chime in on our Signing Unlimited poll question, which is asking, who is the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer? And we have this at Jim, Matt, and Molly, not at ESPN Madison. I'm going to go ahead and vote for Alex Strouf. And right now, 67% of people out there are going with Alex Strouf is the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer. So that music, good call there. If you are just tuning in, Alex Strouf from KBN, formerly of Rutledge and Hamilton, he tried to do basically a combine in Milwaukee. It looks like Pinocchio sprung to life and they decided to run a combine immediately. Matt's going to, if he can, try to execute the cone drill on ice.
Yeah,
using
I'll do it with
curling,
rocks.
With rocks.
A little more dangerous. My cone's 44 pounds.
Right. Yes. There's no way Alex Strouf could pick up one of those.
No.
Yes.
No chance.
I 100% agree on that one. So we do have the Signing Limited poll question. Who is the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer Alex Strouf or Jesse Nelson? And right now Strouf is in the lead. You can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. List is more on YouTube. David chimes in, trade him to the Jets for Adams.
He's talking about Jaire, by the way. That comment.
Okay.
That's Alex Strouf.
I thought he was saying trade Strouf.
Yeah, I thought he was saying trade Strouf. Are you sure?
Do you think Alex Strouf could get Devontae Adams?
I mean, you don't want the contract. You got to get out from the contract there.
Strouf's contract is real affordable for
Does
any
Strouf
team.
pay to be on that team?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the few times you gain cap space by getting someone.
By adding a player.
He'd have to cut them a check for $30 million, whatever the Devontae Adams number is.
I mean, honestly, he might be the vibes guy. Like, anytime the team's feeling a little down, you got a 2-game losing streak, let's just make Alex run the cone drill so everyone can have a good laugh.
Or like you said before, that he may have been the team manager who hey, look, things could be worse. We could be him.
Like Rudy, but way less athletic than Rudy.
And then you look at him and be like, you know what? Yeah, we're losing, but at least we're not 27-year-olds with the athleticism of a 7-year-old. Joseph chimes in. That is genuine Alex footage. And Corey Burton said speed walking the 3-cone. Honestly, Corey, it would have been better if he speed walked it.
Yeah.
I watched a movie. I forgot. It was a comedy starring Kristen Bell, but it was about a speed walker. And honestly, my favorite part of the movie is the very beginning. She says the funny thing about Olympians, and she's an Olympic speed walker, is that after you're done, nobody remembers you're an Olympian. And she had 2 medals. There's a woman who's got a couple medals for being, I think, never gold for speed walking. And then like her life just went back to normal. She didn't know what to do, so she got into like manufacturing or stealing coupons, like making coupons.
Okay.
And then like selling them. And initially she got into selling them, then she started having someone make them, and then she sold them, and she went to prison for it. But like it's her story, and it's kind of a goofy story, so they made it kind of a comedy.
Right.
But it starts with that part of it. But she was an Olympic speed walker. But they showed some footage in it, and they are way more athletic than Alex Strouf. Like it shouldn't have been an Olympic sport, but like there's athleticism there. I mean, I can't believe your hips work after a few years, but like they get moving.
Yeah.
Alex wishes he could move like a speed walker, but at least if he tried to speed walk that, it would be better than what he attempted.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been any slower. I promise you that. That attempt at it wasn't even a jog, like a jaunt, maybe. Like I can't even think of the right word that I saw.
It's an old man running for his life. It really looks like an old man running from like a bear.
It was so, man, that's so unathletic. I'm offended that he even did that.
Just as an athlete?
Yeah, just like as someone who claims a fringe sport where people aren't really known for being like super athletes. That's embarrassing. That's like. It makes me feel bad like when all the times I'll see on the internet, it's like, oh, well, they're just curling. And I'm like, Strouf is that guy who would make those comments prior to knowing me. And this is what I'm going to envision every time somebody posts on my feed about something like curling not being a real sport.
Right.
I'm going to envision this guy running, this Alex Strouf run, and be like, that's what this person does.
Dan in Stoughton wants to know, can Alex throw a dart or hold a pool cue? I understand these are bar sports, but maybe there's some hope for him. Based on the evidence, I can't imagine he's good at either.
No.
Because if you see him throw the golf ball on the ESPN Madison YouTube after he can't hit the ball, it doesn't go. It's not an athletic
clean,
throw.
yeah.
Now, I understand darts is not necessarily it's kind of, I mean, everyone does it different, but it's more of like a pull back and throw sort of thing, so it should be easy. But nothing in Alex Strouf seems like ease of athleticism.
Yeah. Just, it feels like he's got like a brain in each appendage trying to think independently while he's doing this. Like nothing is in sync with itself.
And again, I'm like, you obviously, you're gold medalist at curling. You're very good at golf. I would say, like, for my athleticism, I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none. Like, I can be average at a lot of things. Like, I would consider you above average at golf.
See, that's what I was. That's basically what kind of pushed me to curling, is I really wanted to be in a sport that I could excel at. But the classic sports, like, I was just good at soccer, and I was good at running, and I was good at tennis, but I was not great at anything until I found curling.
Right.
And now I would consider myself great at curling.
Obviously, the world considers you great at curling. So I would say, like, how would you describe your athleticism? Because, again, I would say, now I put an asterisk next to me as a 44-year-old. I would say I can do a lot of things, like, that I'm not going to look like an idiot like Alex Strouf there, but I'm not peak at any of them. I would say I just know how to do a fair amount. Like, I would say I'm a jack of all trade, master of none.
I'd say, like, I don't consider myself athletic either. I think what Strouf lacks is just, like, the athletic grace that you see from true athletes playing football or
just
sports.
Just have that baseline athleticism.
I agree. And I would give myself, like, functional athleticism.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I think I have decent form when I do, like, when I run or if I lifted. I couldn't lift a lot, but if I had the form, I'd look okay doing it. I wouldn't look out of place like Alex Strouf. I wouldn't look like one of the Ents from Lord of the Rings.
I would imagine that your athleticism isn't probably that far off mine, of like maybe the athleticism of someone who, and me being older, I would assume you might be more athletic than me at this point, but someone who just played a lot of sports when they were kids.
You have like the muscle memory of just how like actual muscles work.
Yeah, like I know how to swing a bat without looking ridiculous. I can swing a golf club. Sometimes I swing it well, sometimes I don't. But like a lot of those things, the more I golf, I get better at it.
Yep.
And so I don't know if Alex would get
Strouf
better at
looks
anything.
like he's like activating dormant parts of his body.
Yes.
Like this is the first time I've ever used this.
Like he's a dead person reanimated.
I will say this. Yes, very Frankenstein.
Like a zombie. That zombie would not be scary to run from, I'll tell you that.
Just to even out the athleticism here with Jesse, describing the two of them.
Yes.
Jesse would play kickball with his friends when he was a kid, except instead of playing, Jesse would announce. He would call the kickball game.
Were you with me?
Like, that is next level. It's like, no, guys, I don't want to play kickball, but I'll be Bob Uecker.
That's right. You couldn't come with me. You couldn't make it. So it was me and Chris Orr, and we ran into, I'm going to forget the former Badger's name. I think he does some strength and conditioning stuff in Madison Edgewood, but former Badger offensive lineman who went to the same, knew Jesse from being a kid. And he was telling us stories about Jesse Nelson, and the same thing. And Chris, with Chris's laugh, could not comprehend a child wanting to not play sports and instead do play-by-play. Like, I know
play-by-play for a kickball game.
I know Gabe. I don't think Gabe Neitzel ever did it for like actual sports. I know that like I think he's talked about like friends, and I had other friends who were into play-by-play, like when they played Madden. Like if they weren't playing. You know, sometimes you have 4 or 5 people over. You only 2 people can play at a time.
I would call my own shots. I would say, Matt with the step back, fadeaway jumper.
No, but I would
call it out while I'm playing.
No, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
Well, brick, probably most likely.
Yeah, we're all still mostly the Philip Seymour Hoffman character in Along Came Polly, where he's just it's just missed shot after missed shot after missed shot.
But it looks good. Yeah. Like when I take off, if I didn't show you the result, you'd be like, yeah, that looks like you might have made it. That was an athletic-looking jump shot.
Yes. Honestly, that's kind of mine now. It's like...
Just have good form, and like a couple will drop, and people think you're semi-good.
Yeah. Like I get good spin on it, but I don't play enough, so then like it's either usually the length, like I push it a little too far or whatever. But if you just watch me shoot it, it would look good because I'll get the follow through. I'll flick my wrist, the ball will spin.
For sure.
But I don't play enough.
That's the extent of my basketball talent.
JJ Poinette chimes in. Usually people are somewhat consistent in overall athleticism, and it tends to translate to bar activities. But a friend of mine is ridiculously unathletic at everything. He's the best pool player I know. So, okay. Because I agree. And, like, again, we're asking the question, 844-770-3776, our side and limited poll question, who is the least athletic ESPN Wisconsin producer? Jesse chimes in. Kyle Koskinen was the name. And I should know that name because it always stuck in my head because of The Departed. Koskinen was the character, I think, for Leo. I can't remember. But right now, in the leading the clubhouse is 54%. Alex Strouf is the least athletic of the ESPN Wisconsin producers. Because again,
if it winds up 50-50, we will have 2 losers instead of just 1 loser to the poll question.
But I will say this. In all seriousness, if I was betting on someone to be good at bar sports, I would bet on Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
definitely. Knowing he can bowl.
He's an all-pro.
I know some guys that a little bit bigger, not quite as athletic as you'd expect. But when it comes to like hand-eye coordination games, like golf included, pool, darts, like absolute studs, right? I don't think Alex has any sort of athletic translation. He's skinny fat. Is what Alex is.
Yeah. Again, he's the least scary zombie. He moves like
the zombies from the one with Simon Pegg.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. That's how Alex looks like running these cones. Yeah. Like the easy zombie to get away from.
Right. Or like a zombie in a comedy. Like again, that is kind of a comedy, but
totally a comedy.
Yeah, but like a children's comedy because there's no threat. Like those at least have some. I would say like my daughters watch. I think it's like I think this movie's called Zombies, the show, and it's like. About half, it obviously speaks to multiple layers, but half the town turned into zombies, the other half didn't. They like segregate it and they figure out how to figure it. But it's a musical, so they dance.
Oh, okay.
So like he still couldn't be one of them because
they dance.
The zombies could dance,
and
they dance well. So like, he couldn't even be a child's zombie. And again, he looks like someone like animated Woody from Toy Story. Like if Woody from Toy Story just came to life as a person and you made him run immediately, that's what it would look like.
Yeah. It feels accurate.
On the other side, we are going to get into some of the Jaire Alexander trade talk there.
Actually, guys, I didn't tell you yet, but I actually booked a guest to come on to help us break down Alex Strouf's athleticism.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be into that on the other side.
Mystery guest is on the other side. Wait, can he tell us about Metcalf's Market? Because we love Metcalf's Market.
We do love Metcalf's Market. All right, go ahead,
definitely love Metcalf's Market. And good news for Strouf. All of those fantastic nutritional needs that you need to get a strong body and start moving a little bit better, you can get at Metcalf's in Wauwatosa, right near Milwaukee, where you can get that fantastic produce that's going to help you get big and strong, stronger than Alex, strong like me, strong like Alex G, strong like Jim Rutledge. You should check out Metcalf's Market. They got the Piedmontese beef for that high protein content. They've got delicious cheeses from from afar and from right here in the state of Wisconsin. And don't forget to become a Metcalf's member. Save money every single day on daily use items. Check out Metcalf's Market and bring local home.
Joe in Madison says Alex Strouf is sneaky unathletic like Jordan Love. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
Special guest next.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
Your outfit today is absolutely god-awful garbage. You look like Napoleon Dynamite. Do you have tater tots in your pocket?
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. I'm here with Nikki. She has also worked with the team at Madison Weight Loss. Nikki, you look great. Tell me how much weight you've lost and how long it took.
I lost 28 pounds in the first 8 weeks. And since then, I've lost another 7 just with staying on the maintenance program.
Are you
So 35 total.
That's incredible. What changed about your health with the weight you've lost with Madison Weight Loss?
Before I started with this program, I had entered prediabetes. I had gotten my first high cholesterol reading at the doctor. All of those things normalized 8 weeks, no problem.
And what kinds of things can you now do that you couldn't before?
For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm able to eat healthy and eat the junk food I love at the same time without going off the deep end.
What would you tell someone who is like you and thinking about losing weight with Madison Weight Loss?
Oh my goodness, please don't wait any longer. To anybody listening who has ever even thought of it, just do it. You don't have anything to lose except a whole lot of weight in a very short amount of time. You're going to feel like a new person.
Schedule a free consultation at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
By moving Chris Middleton and adding Kyle Kuzma, if you got better, it was by a very, very thin margin, right? You did not get significantly better today.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strouf.
But the other big question I think a lot of people are asking, rightfully so, is how's Giannis feel?
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strouf. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And available wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I'll be honest, I don't know whose theme music this is. But we are going to be joined by a mystery guest on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio. Sitting in, because now I can see who the guest is, sitting in the seat of our special guest, Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly Brown taking a hiatus from being out with babies to join Jim, Matt, and Molly to give a... Are you giving a scouting report?
No way.
On Alex Strouf here, Molly?
That was the most cringe thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Hold on, I'm trying to get myself in frame. Okay.
Cringe.
I don't even know what animal he looked like, but it was just like a very thin animal that looked like if you like blew at him, like he would just fall over.
Like a baby giraffe just born.
Yeah, like a freshly born ostrich.
Or a deer. like Bambi.
Yes.
Yes.
Terrible.
It's so bad. Molly, I'm thrilled you're on the show.
Me too. Ryan surprised me this morning. He asked me if I could join for a little bit, and I said, sure. Why not?
And then you got the just amazing luck of the draw to see Alex Strouf run this cone drill. The fact that we've got 40 minutes on this right now is outrageous. And Alex here running it on the YouTube stream, it looks like someone who intentionally tried to run in slow motion and then sped up the video slightly.
We actually just got this text from Alex Strouf that says Molly Brown, 9 months pregnant with twins, would beat Strouf in a 3-cone drill. That's what I was going to ask. That is very funny true. That came through.
Molly could win this with both twins in her arms and maybe the older one draped around her neck. She could beat Alex in this 3-cone
She would
drill.
look more athletic. Even 100%. Though she has 2 lives in her hands, she would be able to run looking more athletic than Alex Strouf, who looks like he just came to life.
Embarrassing.
I think he was power walking in this. I don't think he was running. Like, I think he was training for power walking in the Olympics. Legit.
Yeah, and they literally filmed him and then actually sped it up. That's why it looks so awkward and choppy.
And so, Molly, we did have this. We're going to see if Matt's going to try this tonight. Obviously modified a little bit, but on the curling ice, he's going to try to run the 3-cone drill on ice. Because it honestly looks like Alex is on ice, the way he makes those turns and everything of like not sure-footed. So we think Matt could be better on ice doing this, right? Like than Alex Strouf was running 3-cone drill.
100%.
We can do a side-by-side.
Matt, I watched a lot of your curling on Peacock last week, and I was actually amazed with like how fast you guys can go on ice with whatever your little, not skates, but whatever your shoe things
Slider.
are. So like,
yeah.
So I think that requires some athletic ability. So yes, I think that you would be much better than Strouf here.
I feel like I caught like some of a stray when she goes some athletic ability.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was props to you. That was props to you. I just,
Savage.
In case people don't think that curling takes athletic ability or something, I am convinced it does. Which, by the way, off topic, but my family has about 1 million questions for you in regards to curling because we watched every single match that you were in except for the first one because Peacock wasn't working. Right. And we had no idea what was going on, but we were just cheering that you were going to have the higher score. So I have a lot of questions about curling.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out too often for us.
It works out well for us, Molly, because when Jim, Matt, and Molly returns, you return next week, Tuesday. We're going to have a lot of Matt.
Yeah, and you guys, there's no way you're going to have more time in the office than I am at that point.
That's honestly Matt committed to beating you. And that's,
exactly.
He did us a favor and didn't go to Worlds for Team Schuster or mixed up.
Yeah. Because I'm just driven by competition, and this is the competition that apparently is more fueling right now.
Sometimes his aim is off on which thing he should be more focused on winning, but
you'll take it this time.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah,
I am.
It works in our favor. So, Molly, we did have a side and limited poll question, and you can chime in on the Carbos Talking text line 844-770-3776. This is more of the ESPN Wisconsin producers. Which one is less athletic? Alex Strouf or Jesse Nelson?
Oh, I thought it was going to be Alex Strouf or Ryan. I was like, come on, guys, give Ryan some props.
No. I love that immediately. That's a good question.
Well, wait, hold on. Is bowling a sport?
We're just talking like baseline athleticism. If we know that
you've
Jesse...
seen Alex bowl though, haven't you?
Alex bowl? When would I ever see Alex bowl?
I don't know. I feel like
you saw him bowl.
I've definitely seen him bowl. I thought it was maybe a group event. Maybe I just invited him out with some friends and we were bowling.
Yes.
It is so bad. Like Jesse, regardless of how he does, at least knows how to roll the ball and look athletic doing it.
Yeah. And puts up, he shot us a text that nobody cared about, some bowling score.
He shot over like 200 cold, I guess, is the thing.
I don't know what that means.
Neat.
But
doesn't everybody just go in and just start bowling? Isn't that how bowling works?
Does that mean you don't warm up?
What do you 12-ounce Coors curls to get warmed up? What's the deal there?
Yeah. I don't know how you warm up for bowling. I didn't know that was a thing.
I assume it's just crushing Coors.
Yeah,
That's how it should be.
Exactly.
But my point is, we at least know Jesse can do something athletic. There's no evidence that Alex Strouf can do anything athletic. Because you remember him golfing, too, where he missed 12 swings in a row and then just gave up and threw it really bad.
And Jesse can golf, too. I do know that. So, honestly, Jesse might be more athletic.
Yeah, in a foot race, Strouf, we saw that Strouf ran his 40-yard dash at 6.3. So that's not great. I don't know if Jesse could beat that, but I just mean just regular athleticism. I feel like Jesse would be better if we did like some sort of Olympic. He would have a few more sports he'd be good at.
Yeah.
We should have a producers Olympics. Would that be fun?
Honestly, I feel like we get in trouble for like abuse.
Yeah.
Or, like, there's something unseemly about it. Like just asking unathletic people to do athletic things just to laugh at them. I feel like there's some sort
That's why I think it's a great idea to put like an amateur out in every event at the Olympics so you can get a real scale of how amazing these athletes are. Like, just have somebody who hasn't tried curling very much step on the ice and watch them try and slide, right? Like, get Alex to run the 100-yard dash next to Usain Bolt and just see how much faster
how many
Bolt
races
is getting across the line than he is.
How many races do you think you could run start to finish before Alex Strouf finished a 100-yard dash? Like, you might get 2 in there before he finishes 1. Like, if you had a back-to-back ready to go.
Oh, like if you're just going to he was running 100 meters and I was running 200 meters?
Yeah. No, I'm saying
or
like,
Usain Bolt?
So Usain, they fired off, Alex takes off with Usain Bolt. And then as soon as Usain Bolt crosses the line, they have another group ready to go and they run. I feel like you might get 2 people past him, like a whole nother race past him before he gets the 100 meters.
I think you're right. I think that's close. Oh, so sad. Poor Alex. He can't even defend himself. But at the same time,
he did this himself. Like, he wanted to do this.
He went for this. And he did say that this was his first attempt at it. That doesn't matter. That's so bad.
First attempt ever? Like, was this the first attempt of his life?
Yeah, at running, that's the only excuse that I could come up with because there is zero, like, you got to squat down a little bit, get your center of gravity low so you can make these turns a little easier.
Okay, just a baseline athletic stance.
Unathletic human.
I know that Gabe Neitzel had tweeted out that Alex Strouf is unquestionably the least athletic person he's ever worked with in his life.
And now it seems accurate. And Molly, hey, just so you know, now that we're on the athletics conversation, I've not forgotten our deal of trying to kick a field goal. You tell me when you're ready. We're kicking field goals, and I'm going to crush you.
Okay, so here's the thing, bringing it back to Jesse Nelson. Back when we were up in Green Bay, I think I was 8 months pregnant with the twins. We attempted to kick field goals, and I thought I was going to do great because I've played soccer for so long and all that stuff. I did horrible. But I will say that
8 months pregnant.
Yes, I was 8 months pregnant. Oh, not the proper footwear, all that stuff. But Jason Wilde is the one that brought the football, but he overinflated it, I think. So that really messed me up. So it was terrible. So we're going to need like a better ball. But yes, 100%, Matt, I will still beat you.
We got one, Molly. I got a good football here. It will not be overinflated, and we will have our kicking contest. We'll see.
Okay,
I'm not going to let you win, so you know. Like, I'm not that nice of a person.
So I want to know the background here, just separately. Molly, how much soccer did you play?
I played for about 16 years.
Oh, Molly. I'm thinking Molly.
Take Molly.
Yeah.
I played soccer real close to like 15, 16 years. I'm older, so I'm further removed than Molly. But I played till my sophomore year of high school, and I did nothing but goal kicks as a goalie. Like, basically all of them are free
when
kicks.
I hear about the best kick, like the kickers that transfer to be a kicker in the NFL aren't the goalies. They are the regular soccer players.
All right, well, maybe.
So,
it might. I would love to get humbled by Molly.
Like, I'm just going, and it's not an athleticism thing. I just think that
technique matters. Yeah, you're right.
And if she's played that long, I feel like she'll get
Let me start stretching and like get into shape more.
Oh,
so give me a couple months.
Yeah, Molly,
you're on your time. Yes. You tell me. I want peak Molly. I want you giving me your best effort and be like, now's the time where I can do this.
Molly, I know you're excited to try some of the spa stuff at Carbon World Health, but you could do some workouts there. You could, then you could get yourself into shape real quick. You can work on whatever. They probably could tell you whatever muscle group you need to work on to increase the range for your kicks and things like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
They could probably do a lot more than that for you too.
Yeah, they can do a lot of great things at Carbon World Health. Molly's, I'm sure, excited for. I think the hydrofacial. There's a lot of great things going on there. You have IVs, you have red light therapy, cryotherapy, a lot of great things over at Carbon World Health. So I was told that Molly's going to join us for a minute to win it.
Yes, because you guys might be competing against each other in field goal kicks, but I did initially ask Molly Brown to come on because I wanted Matt and Molly to do a minute to win it together.
Yeah!
Wait, who knew Alex Strouf was going to be the most unathletic person in America today, too? Which obviously diverted the show a little bit, but yes, Matt, Molly.
Diverted the show off the rails.
Well, yeah, off the rails, but it's been good, but it's off the rails. Yeah. All right, so Matt and Molly, you guys both need to leave. Matt, leave the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar Studio.
6.
caller.
3 and 6.
Don't
for
stop
Alex,
throwing out the callers.
Please don't do that.
Okay, I'm hanging up.
Thank
All
you.
right.
God, how is it that Molly, who's not even supposed to be on the show today, is somehow better at this than Matt? All right, so
I do still see.
she's gone. She's gone. I know she's gone. I'm confirming now she's gone.
Okay.
All right, Jim.
Yep.
We haven't talked about a minute to win a category today, and that's because we have the NFLPA report cards for all 32 teams that came out today. So why don't we do the top 10 teams in one of the categories? Which one do you want to do? I'll list them off for you here quickly. We have treatment of families, food dining, nutrition dietitians, locker rooms, training staff, weight room, strength coaches, team travel, head coach, or ownership.
Let's go team travel because I know Matt mentioned something about the training staff. Team travel, it stood out to me because the Eagles gave their team an F for team travel.
Did they have them on a bus like the Flint Tropics?
I think they thought that the players should be in first class, not the coaches. That was one of the things. So that was like a little note I saw from it. So I think the team travel could be interesting.
Okay.
I don't know where the Packers land on it. I'm sure they do well.
We're going fully blind into this.
Yes.
So it should be fun.
All righty.
So I do like the colors that Matt gave because he knows Alex Strouf ran a 6.3 second 40-yard dash.
Okay.
So we have to do caller 3 and 6 for caller 6.3 40-yard dash, but caller 3 and 6.
Caller number 3, caller number 6, you're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Maybe it'll even be a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. All you got to do is pick the right over-under, and that's what are we setting to that? I'm sorry.
Oh, we haven't set the over-under. Why don't we set it right at 5.5?
5.5.
Straight out even.
Okay.
Well, actually, 4.5.
4.5. All righty. So the over-under is 4.5. 844-770-3776. Call number 3 and call number 6. We'll get at least a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Maybe it'll be a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Caller number 3 and caller number 6. The over-under is at 4.5. 844-770-3776. Caller number 3, caller number 6 at least gets a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Maybe it'll be 50 for a minute to win it. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers have had an easier time replacing Aaron Rodgers than they have replacing Mason Crosby.
Your statement is utterly ridiculous and true simultaneously.
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin star John Tonje garnering national attention. The 6th year named to the Naismith's Player of the Year midseason team. Greg Gard chatting with John Rothstein of CBS Sports. Gard on which past Badger Tonje resembles. Audio courtesy CBS Sports.
He's got the same moxie and just calmness about him that Nigel Hayes had, but Nigel was crafty and found a way to put the ball in the basket. See if there's a combination of size and versatility and just the levelness that he plays with. He never gets too high, never gets too low. It's comparable to a little bit like Nigel was.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
there.
Come on!
I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Wisconsin.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with all service members and their families. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. It is actually Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are all in the Everlight, or not all in the Everlight Solar Studio. Matt Hamilton and me, Jim Rutledge, are in the Everlight Solar Studio. Next week at this time, we still won't be in the Everlight Solar Studio. We'll actually be at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Next Wednesday, we are at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. We're doing a return of Molly Brown kind of tour here when Molly returns next week. Tuesday, we're at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Next Wednesday, we are at the Verona location of North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. And then on Thursday, we'll be at Buck and Honey's.
Wow.
So we are.
Molly's going to be well fed.
I'm excited.
I didn't want Molly to feel left out from all the fun remotes we've been able to do. And so we reached out to our friends and partners over at Ruth's Chris, North and South Buck and Honey's. They all said absolutely. So, we're going to have a little tasting tour for Molly Brown. But the first one, or on Wednesday, so a week from today, we'll be at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 3 great locations in the Madison area, whether it's Verona, Madison, or DeForest. You can have a great time. They cater. They can deliver. They can obviously give you a great experience dining in. And Molly can tell you can pick it up and take it to your house, too. I know that they miss your business at the one in DeForest. They all said hi.
Love it. I went there once since I've been on maternity leave, so I will say that.
They did say when I brought it up that JD told Ken in Verona they have to have your salad ready.
Yeah. Make it a day in advance.
Yes, amazing. Yeah. You know I love my soggy.
A soggy
North
salad.
and South does not make it soggy. I enjoy it soggy. Oh, it's the best. Such a gross word.
That is truly your worst take.
I don't know if I really love Molly just hopping back into the show being like, I enjoy it soggy. So, like, Molly's
soggy salad.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
All right.
Big fan of spring.
Spring, honestly, soggy is a good way to describe the weather and spring. We took my dog.
Literally looking at my yard right now is just a soggy yard. Like, that is the best description of it.
So I will say that I got in front of the dog poop. So I didn't have a lot to pick up, and I was able to clean it up because I did not want the giant mess that other people I've seen in their yard have, which is abject disaster. And honestly, I was good most of the year, but then when it got really cold, I was like, what am I doing?
What am I doing? Yeah, what am I going to go pick up frozen poop?
I'm not going to. Well, that's okay. That's actually easier. I'm not going to go chip it out of the frozen snow.
Oh, come on. Get your ice pick out.
Like I'm a lumberjack or something. I'll just wait for it to melt a little bit. All right, let's get to minute 20.
Will they beat the odds?
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
Or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
Well, and since it is Molly Brown's appearance today, guys, we're doing the 10 soggiest salads in the city of Madison. No, I would not be able to calculate that on my own. Maybe Molly Brown could submit that for us at one point when she's out and Matt's doing Minute to Win It. But since today, the NFLPA team report cards for all 32 NFL teams came out.
I knew I should have looked at this.
We wanted to quiz you guys in one of the categories. So me and Jim went over some of the categories during the break. And the one we settled on, team travel. We want you guys to guess the top 11 teams graded in team travel per the NFLPA team report cards. All right, do you guys understand? So the teams that were
does that mean the best airlines? What are we talking about?
Good question. I guess it's just
it's
overall.
Not specific. So I guess if you're just tuning in, if you guys don't know, so basically every year the NFL does an anonymous poll with all the players. They all can answer, and they answer questions from like food service to taking care of families to travel to the coaching staff to the athletic training, and it's all based off of what the players think.
It's all anonymous survey.
Yes, so it's not, and it's also like there's no set way. It's just what do the players think about it. So if you've only played for the Packers, you're only going to know them as a travel, but then you can judge on like I feel it's good. If you play for 3 or 4 teams, you might have a different grade because you'd be like, oh, the Green Bay's actually so much better than every other team. But you don't know who the players are, and it's just a cumulative grade.
All right, Molly, you definitely can go first here when we do get going.
All right, well, your timer starts now, Molly.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys are not in the top 10.
What?
Jerry Jones, cheap, I guess.
Yeah, Jerry Jones, that's where my head would have been.
I would have gone with Cowboys.
I'll go
too,
Rams.
The Rams, also not in the top 10.
Oh, my
guys.
gosh.
Darn.
This is, I mean, there's no reference for either of us to base this off of.
No.
We didn't set a high over under.
The Vikings are number 3 on the list.
Now the pressure's on Matt not to fail for the team.
This is fun.
We each get 3 strikes, right?
You guys do not each get 3 strikes today, and unfortunately, Matt just struck you guys out. The Lions were at 12. Molly, you want to keep it going, though? See if you can get a few more?
Let's do... oh my God, I'm trying to think of teams. The Niners?
The 49ers are 8th on the list.
Should we go...
Don't let Matt pick again.
Yeah, I don't pick again. Your favorite team?
The Seahawks.
Cardinals.
Seahawks are number 7. Cardinals not in the top 11.
All right.
I just love the Cardinals when they transported like the Rams, that I was like, oh, they did like good traveling stuff for the other teams, so wouldn't they do something good for their own team? But that's a tricky one.
Are the Packers on the list? Were the Packers on the list?
Yeah, unfortunately, we really did pick one that was probably too much for a curveball for him, Jim.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to pick one that I didn't think they would peruse.
True. Well, it's a good thing that seems like they probably didn't peruse any of them, to be honest. I don't know, Molly, were you looking at the report cards?
I did peruse some of them. I don't know if I could do the top 10. I just kind of looked about some teams I was interested in.
Right. Honestly, given Alex Strouf's accomplishments today, I would have done maybe weight room or strength coaches, training staff. Could have been good.
Was the Packers on that travel list?
Pretty bad with that one, though.
The Packers, I think, strength staff were towards the bottom.
No, for strength. I'm talking about
like
for the travel.
27th, yeah. So for team travel, I'll read them all for you. It was Dolphins number 1, Raiders 2, and then you also had the Commanders, Saints, and Broncos, Seahawks, 49ers, where you guys both got, and then the Packers coming in at one of the A-minuses, along with the Bengals and the Ravens. Bengals surprising to be on here, considering that they are known as like probably the most, like the cheapest team in the NFL.
Well, I can give you the top grades here in a minute, but I did see overall, I did see the reason why this one popped up to me is I saw that the Eagles got an F, and the complaints were funny. One, the players thought they should be in first class, not the coaches, and another one was like they thought the plane was a little too small. So,
I mean, that is absolutely the case. The coaches don't need first class.
Coaches should be in coach.
Yeah.
I don't know how those planes
Good
work.
one,
That's a
Ryan.
lot of bodies to put into first class. So I don't understand.
Kawhi yourself.
All right. Only one team got an F. Do you want to guess who that is? Overall grade.
Overall grade?
Yeah.
F? The Giants?
Right city.
The Jets.
Jets.
Wow.
And then the Panthers got a D-. The Cardinals got a D-. Patriots and Steelers also got Ds. The Steelers were surprising me.
Aaron Rodgers isn't even on that team, Molly.
And then
but this is all going off this last year. You ruined everything.
The teams that fell into the A range: Dolphins A+, Falcons A+, Vikings A+, Broncos A, Chargers A, Texans A, Raiders A, Commanders A. I feel like I'm in Canada right now. Ravens A. Saints A, Packers A-, 49ers A-, and Bears A-. I want to say A minor, A-. Okay, A-.
Whoa.
So to Molly's point, the Browns did not score well either. They were a C+.
Man, that was such
a creeper.
That was a bad minute to win it, Molly. We didn't get to use any of our skills or knowledge. That was a pure guessing game.
We've had worse, I think. Honestly, I think we've had worse.
We have. I appreciate you lifting me up there because I was definitely the loser of the two of us today.
I'm so glad I could put this together.
A week from today, we'll be doing Minute to Win It together.
I know.
At North and South.
At
you
North
have
and
some
South.
meat candy.
We are going to be vibing. I'll just know what you're thinking. You'll know what I'm thinking. It's going to go good. I think we're going to nail it next week.
Yeah, we can just ask you like your
Can't wait.
top 10 most ordered things at North and South. Maybe we can get Ken and someone to give us what the top 10 most ordered items at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse are.
The 10 soggiest salads in Madison. That's what we're doing next week.
No restaurant wants that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're not advertising that North and South makes soggy salads.
Well, they're not on the list.
Yes.
We're not saying that.
Molly turns the salad soggy.
Yes.
Yes, I feel bad that I've even
Soggifies.
put that out there because it's nothing on North and South. That is solely a Molly Brown preference.
Yeah.
Their salad
Savage.
is nice, crispy, and crunchy when I pick it up. Trust
And then
me.
you just
Molly
leave it in the
makes
fridge overnight.
Soggy.
And then it's
I eat half
soggy.
of it and then I go in the fridge. Yeah.
And then the next day, that salad is aged perfectly. It's a vintage
cheddar,
salad.
right?
Yeah, like everyone says.
Exactly.
I like my salad moist and soggy
Yeah.
and day old.
Yeah, day old. That lettuce just doesn't have a hint of brown on it. I don't want it.
If I have any crispness when I take a bite of that salad, I'm out.
I'm out.
I want it to feel like I'm tasting a napkin.
Oh my god.
A
My
ranch
friends at North and
flavored
South are gonna
napkin.
hate me. Oh my god.
All right. Molly, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye guys.
All right. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollerstrom, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Milwaukee Brewers Baseball on ESPN Madison. Listen to every game this season, starting with opening day on March 27th right here on Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers Baseball, 100.5 ESPN. And some big news out of the Green Bay Packers world as cornerback Jaire Alexander finally back on the trade market. That's per Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. Packers have had trade conversations centered around the star cornerback, and they are open to moving him for the right price. The two-time Pro Bowler entering his age 28 season, but only played 7 games last year with that continuing PCL strain. Brian Balaga on Wilde and Tausch this morning spoke on why Jaire Alexander's trade value could be lower than most expect this offseason.
We always talk about in the old line room when the BS outweighs the performance, right? I think that's normally the thing. And that's normally what I always go off, right? And if Jaire's not available enough, that's where teams start to get concerned, right? And that's kind of where I think he's going to find difficulty within the market initially.
Listen back to Brian Balaga on Wilde and Tausch this morning over at Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts, and read more about Jaire Alexander over at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my god, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Murr.
I'm the problem. It's
Mister.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, the sports fan version of Matt is way more relatable than the sports fan version of Jim Rutledge or me. You're thinking like a radio host, which means a hardcore radio and sports person. Matt's thinking like somebody that has a job doing something else that also likes sports.
That's Matt's whole charm.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, hour number 2 continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Primetime Moore shine behind the glass as well. Chrissy Birdsall with us. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
The clock is a nightmare. I blame Primetime for that. He did bring on a special guest, Molly Brown, and she stayed for 2 segments. Happy to have Molly Brown, and she'll be back starting next Tuesday. We'll be at Ruth's Chris, and then Wednesday at North and South, and then Thursday at Buck and Honey's, I believe, in Sun Prairie. So, taking this show on the road, Matt Hamilton. We did have a Siding Unlimited poll question. You can chime in on this. The Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more. Who is the least athletic producer in all of ESPN Wisconsin? Alex Strouf or Jesse Nelson? Alex Strouf pulling ahead here at 61%.
That's so sad for Alex.
Take that for that.
That is so sad for Alex.
Yes.
I mean, the video does not help him one little bit.
It does not. But
Bobby Hill's doing a better cone drill than that, for sure.
Yeah, yes, he is. He definitely is.
For those of you who are not in that inside joke, Jesse Nelson is like a real version of Bobby Hill.
Yes. I've said before that Alex Strouf, during his running, looks like someone who just was reanimated and sent out, like the least scary zombie on the face of the earth. And Jesse Nelson is if Bobby Hill came to life.
Yeah.
And so you can chime in on that. But Jaire Alexander, news of the day, Ian Rappaport said that the Packers are trying to trade Jaire Alexander. And the question that's easy to ask, Matt, is, what can they get for him? And it's not going to be what you think. Jaire Alexander at this point, I understand, has got some value in the idea that his contract is most of the guaranteed money is paid up front, so it's less of a risk. And as a football player, when he plays, he's still very, very good.
Yeah.
But I think the league knows that the Jaire and Green Bay Packers marriage has to end. Like, it's toxic. It's not going to work. I think there's no trust there. So the league knows he's going to be traded. So now it's a matter of the Packers trying to convince a few teams that they're bidding against each other. So, like, hey, give us, like, at best, like a 5th rounder. So then he doesn't hit free agency after being cut. And then what you can guarantee you get him. As opposed to, so that's more that at a high 5th, because all you're trying to do is avoid the waiver wire or avoid free agency after he's been cut.
When would the Packers have to cut him before he has like some salary impact on them?
I don't know specifically his next guaranteed salary date, but
I believe if you make him a post-June 1st cut, they could save like an extra, I want to say it's $5 to $10 million.
Now, some players like Matthew Stafford has a bonus coming before then, so I don't know if Jaire's got any bonus stuff in it, but I would imagine it's probably the post-June 1st one because, again, if they said, I think Goody pointed out that most of Jaire's salary was paid up front, it's not going to be a dollars thing for the Packers, or even I think the team bringing him on. It's just a matter of some team might just wait it out and say, like, we want to trade for him because we don't want to compete in free agency for him. But at the same time, if you're doing this, you're going to have a conversation with Jaire and see if Jaire wants to come. I think if you're a team.
Like the right team, yeah.
Right. And so, Matt, that kind of brings me to a point you brought up off the air, but I think this is the angle we should be looking at with the Jaire and Green Bay Packers trade.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this is the angle that Goody should be trying to pitch to try and get more than a 5th-round pick out of the guy. I think Jaire he's 28, probably turning 29 this next season. The guy obviously is good at football. We've seen it happen. He had some injury issues, played 7 games this year. Obviously, the end of last year, kind of a debacle against the Commanders, I believe it was, where he ran out on the field.
We ran out that was against the Panthers.
That was Panthers, that's right. I knew it was somewhere on the East Coast there. He had a great game against Dallas. Fine game against San Francisco. Nothing to write home about. But, like, end of the day, Jaire is a guy who's at the tail end of his prime years for playing football. He's 28. The Packers, I think the time with the Packers has just run its course. I don't think he wants to necessarily be in Green Bay. It certainly doesn't seem like it. There might be an issue with the trainers. Obviously, our trainers were not ranked very highly by this NFLPA anonymous player poll. So that might be part of it, might be part of the reason Jaire's disgruntled, thinking he could be better and more available if he had the proper training. I just think a change of scenery is going to be best for him. Goody should be pitching it, that this guy has all the juice in the tank to give you 2-3 more really good seasons of football. He just needs more than what we are offering him. He needs a change of scenery. Like, this guy is going to be the Pro Bowler of old if you make this trade. And try and pitch that. That's why he's leaving. It's not because any other issue than the fact that this guy, his time here has run its course. And I think that's true. I've accepted it. So, like, I know if next year Jaire has a great season, I'm going to chalk more of it up to the change of scenery is what he needed, as opposed to, like, Green Bay was such a detrimental place for him that he couldn't get well and healthy. I don't think that's the case. There's plenty of healthy guys that can play in Green Bay. I just think the small market is not big enough for Jaire being the flashy center of attention kind of guy he is.
I agree with some of what you said.
Oh, I know.
You lost me on the ladder because he was fine here. He was fine here really until the last 2 years. Part of that we thought chalked up to Joe Barry, and maybe he wasn't in with Joe Barry. And then this year you chalk it up to maybe not believing the training staff or having a disconnect there with training staff.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with his personality in Green Bay. Outside of the idea of I don't think he trusts Green Bay anymore or likes the coaching staff or wants to be here anymore. I don't think it has to do with his personality or flashiness. I agree that he's going to be better somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think the other parts are just projections. But I do
totally.
think...
But you know me, I'm a vibes guy.
Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I'm not a big projections guy on the vibes. I would say... I don't know who's in the wrong here. I honestly don't, because, like, did Green Bay make him feel uncomfortable, make him feel like he was being rushed back? I don't know on that part. But I would say that your take that he will be better outside of Green Bay, and it's just too far gone here in Green Bay, is the proper take.
Yeah, better than last year, yes, for sure.
But the other part I don't agree with you on is that Goody can't sell that because teams are going to be like, you're right, so you're not keeping him. You have no leverage.
Mm-hmm.
You know you have to get rid of him. So I think teams are going to understand that. Again, I think the value for what they're going to get for Jaire is they need to have a couple teams feel like they want them, and nobody wants to have to compete to sign him. They'd rather trade for him. But
right, and that's where Goody's leverage comes from, is the fact that, hey, if you want to try and wait for him to hit free agency, you're going to have to compete with somebody, or you can make a deal now.
This is where GMs are made.
Yeah.
Like, can he peddle this out for like anything higher than a 6, I'd be pretty impressed with. Can you peddle this out for higher than a 6?
Isn't that crazy to think that Jaire Alexander is only worth... But again, it's like the Brett Favre thing. Or, excuse me, the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yep.
A season sooner, you could have got the world.
Yeah, and maybe I'm shooting low.
Russ got all that huge deal from the Broncos. So they gave up like an arm and a leg to get Russell Wilson. That could have been the Packers getting all the like first round draft picks in the world, and like 2 years earlier with Jaire.
I would say, look, it happened with the Deshaun Watson trade too.
Yeah,
and again, some of these trades worked out horribly on multiple levels for both those, so that obviously hurts some of the trade market. I just think with Jaire, it's not uncommon, especially for a player where teams know you're moving on, and it's just not going to last, so you kind of just have to let it go. So our poll question, our secondary signing limited poll question, and you can chime in on the Cardinals Talking text line. This is more 844-770-3776. Our first sports question of the day. If Jaire goes somewhere else and is successful, gets back to form, who will you blame or who will you be more upset at, Jaire or the Packers?
Probably a little bit more Jaire, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll hit it. You can chime in on that. We're going to post that at ESPN Madison. But let me tell you about my friends at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. It's like sporadically, weirdly icy at times this time of year because the temperature rises and falls. It's been wet. I don't have to worry about it with my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb because if I'm worried about it, 1, I get notification, possible icy conditions. 2, I'll start in 4-wheel-drive. And I also know I can start it if it, day starts nice and I forgot my coat. I can start my, if I wanted to, I could start my truck from the app and start it. And when I get out to the parking garage, it'll be nice and warm. So if you want a better buying experience and get the right truck for you, check out Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
We don't speak about her.
About rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
We always talk about in the old line room when the BS outweighs the performance, right? I think that's normally the thing. And that's normally what I always go off, right? And if Jaire's not available enough, that's where teams start to get concerned, right? And that's kind of where I think he's going to find difficulty within the market initially.
That was Brian Bulaga on William Tausch earlier today, and echoing kind of what we've talked about. I also think the Packers are not going to want this Jaire thing to drag. Right now, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you in the Everlight Solar Studio with Mr. Birdsall and Primetime Wool or Shine. We are presented by Coors Light. We're talking about Jaire Alexander and Ian Rappaport's report that the Packers are shopping Mr. Jaire Alexander to the surprise of no one. Right. And the simple question is, what will the Packers get from him? But Matt had a different angle, and I like it. So this is our Signing Unlimited poll question. You can chime in on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. If the Packers trade Jaire Alexander and he finds significant success elsewhere next season, who will you be more upset with, Jaire or the Packers? Right now it is 55% Jaire, 45% the Packers. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page as well. Matt, you surprised?
No, I mean, I'm not too
very early.
surprised. Yeah, it's super early. I kind of am leaning a little more towards Jaire to blame because I think not agreeing with your coach's scheme in Joe Barry, like right or wrong, like you're there to play football. So the fact that you missed games and weren't your best self because you didn't agree with the philosophy of the defensive coordinator seems like a you issue. 'Cause this is your job. Like, I get that this isn't your favorite way to play football, but it doesn't change the fact that you're being paid millions of dollars to play football. This is the guy they got. Like, go do your thing.
Now, again, that's a little projection. The Joe Barry was more of Jaire
Is
for
that
last
projection?
year.
He was pretty open that he did not agree with this
But
scheme.
like last year, he didn't. But he played last year. He just got suspended for acting like an idiot at one point. But otherwise,
that was late in the season.
He played so it was more of. I think it was he was asked in the offseason, and he was excited about playing for Jeff Hafley because he thought this defense would really bring out the best of him. And then this year, wherever you want to land on it, you can land on it. But I would say the question is really to the training staff and Jaire's trust with the Packers and the trust of the training staff.
Or the idea that I want to be healthy going into next year when the Packers are inevitably done with my antics. Plenty of guys say, yeah, my back still hurts.
He had nothing. He had no antics to get him traded until this year when he, much like David Bakhtiari.
I don't know. Last year he was on the block when he ran out acting like a captain.
I don't think he was ever on the block. The
I
team
think
poo-pooed that.
He got suspended again.
Yeah, but I don't think the Packers are looking to trade him in the offseason.
That's when people, I think,
fans, but the team, there was no smoke to the idea of Jaire being
talking
traded.
more about the fans.
Yeah, I don't care about the fans. I'm talking about Jaire and the.
We can tell, Jim.
But like this conversation is about the Packers and Jaire, and so like the Packers were not done with him at that point because the fans. Look, the media didn't know. The fans don't know bupkis about what's going on back there. The media didn't know this year what was going on with the training staff things. Why wasn't he playing? And it kind of came out that the training staff believed he could play through it and get surgery in the offseason. And Jaire said, no, I don't think that. And that's not uncommon in sports. Last year, if you followed the NBA, Zach LaVine, the Bulls wanted him to play through and get surgery in the offseason. He said, no, this is my body. I'm getting surgery now.
Right.
And that was a divide that they solved in the offseason. They tried to trade him in the offseason. They couldn't. And then they brought him back. He played this year. He built up his value, and then they traded him. So maybe that could happen with the Packers here. But David Bakhtiari, that was a weird timeline. We still don't know everything with his knee issue.
Right.
So it's not uncommon in sports where players don't trust the motives of the team.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's certainly possible. I just don't want to conflate Jaire. It was just so weird how many times he was game time decision and out again.
He came and played. He came back and tried to play against the Bears, played a few plays, didn't feel healthy, and left. So they did try to bring him back. He did listen to them. He didn't like how his body felt and left the game. And then that was the end of his time there.
Yeah.
And
I know,
so
and I like to, oftentimes I try to give the athlete the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think I can in good conscience this time because of some of just the feeling I got behind Jaire. He's the guy, he wants to be the man. And when he's not feeling great, and doesn't think he can be the man, that doesn't mean he can't be effective. And it doesn't mean that he's unsafe going out there.
Why do you think he feels like he needs to be the man to play? I think
that's because that's his vibe. That's what he does. He talks about being all the time.
Bring
that
energy right to Texas. I'm just here to tell you, Pack is back.
So, what do you mean by the man? Do you mean he needs? I would say that the knock on him could be he is someone who feels like he needs to be 100% healthy to play, and he doesn't want to play.
Because he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't want to get beat by anybody. That competitive drive, and I get it.
Or he doesn't want his. He doesn't want to put his body at risk. He feels like he's not.
Yeah,
playing safe.
That's possible, but there's also situations where the trainer's like, "Hey, this injury isn't gonna get exaggerated. You're not as fast."
So, but again, if there's no trust there, who's that on?
I don't know. The guy who doesn't trust the team, or the team who could be telling him the right stuff, but the guy isn't listening. It could go both ways. Jaire,
you said
clearly,
it both ways against Jaire. So it's like either the training staff has not built the proper trust with Jaire, or Jaire is not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's what we're down to. You said it.
Well, could it also be that Jaire is, like Matt said, that Jaire feels like unless he's 100%, he's not able to play? Because that could be an issue.
That's what
not
I
with
said.
The training
Matt
staff.
was implying that like Jaire felt like he had to be the man, which that was different to me.
Well, it's kind of the same way. If you're not 100% and you're going to get beat, then you're not
So
the guy.
you're thinking he's sitting because he doesn't want to look like a lesser player.
Right.
I'm saying, do you don't think it's possible that he's sacked because he doesn't want to re-injure something?
No, I guess it's entirely possible, but I just the vibe I get from Jaire is he wants to be the best corner in the league, and if he is anything less than 100, he knows he can't be the best corner in the league, so he'd prefer not to play.
From some reports that we saw as well, and nothing's truly clear right now. We probably won't find that out till a while after Jaire likely is traded, is that a lot of people within the building felt like he could play without the risk of re-injury. It's more of, is he willing to play through just being hurt more than re-injury?
Right, and that
being
part,
uncomfortable.
That part is undisputed. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying that if Jaire felt more trust with the training staff, would he have been? Because the training staff feeling like he can and Jaire not feeling like he can, that's clearly a disconnect. Because Jaire went out against Chicago, played a few plays, said, "Nah, this ain't it."
True, but if he just doesn't feel like it's it, and if he doesn't feel like he's effective, but they need him to play, and once again, he's not risking re-injury.
But then that's the Pack. I'm not defending him. I'm saying that's the Packers doctors telling him that, and if he doesn't trust them, he's not going to listen to him. Well, whose fault is it for the not to trust?
Well, I think that's projecting a lot because you're projecting what he thinks of the Packers training staff.
He clearly doesn't trust them if they're saying you can play and they all think you can play, and he says no, I can't.
Well, it might not be. It could be the hypothetical of what Matt is saying is that he knows he might not re-injure himself, but he also feels like he might just not be playing at 100% and not be performing at the marquee cornerback one level.
That to me is a bigger jump than it's common in sports where there is disputes between the training staff and a player's thinking long term. You're right. Maybe I won't re-injure it currently, but I might cut off my back end earning. And if you want to get on him for saying, hey, he is putting his back end earnings and wanting to make sure he is healthy going into the offseason in front of trusting the Packers training staff, that's a different story.
Well, he didn't do anything to it's not like he had a surgery or something that he was trying to postpone and play through to get the end of the season. You just heard he had an aggravated back most of the time, or
Jaire Alexander had arthroscopic knee injury.
He had arthroscopic knee surgery.
When?
January 1st.
It was one that he opted into. From most of the reports, is that it was something he could have put off to the offseason, but he chose to do it.
It said the surgery was to relieve pain from swelling from his torn PCL.
Then, I guess my issue is how long was this knee thing an issue? Because it was clearly half the season. So have that before January. Just make that call.
I don't think the Packers wanted him to make that call.
Well, they didn't. But if you were,
so they might have been fighting.
They're in
him
the
on
same spot. They're actually in a worse spot because if they make the call, let him just have the surgery, then they can fill the roster spot with someone who's actually going to be on the field, as opposed to playing this. Okay, how do you feel this week? Oh, still not good enough? Well, okay, that's fine. We'll see how you feel next week. And then they did that for 4 weeks.
I agree with you on that, but again, what's the answer?
So if the training staff says, "Hey, you're good enough to play football," it might be a little uncomfortable, but you can play football, and Jaire's like, "No, I'm not doing that." But I'm also not going to have the surgery right now because you guys don't want me to have the surgery. There's definitely a disconnect.
Well, I would say that you're right. And again, who's that on? I'm not. That goes to our poll question.
Well, we know who you think it's on because you've been clearly pushing back on me every time. I'm like, I think it's on Jaire.
Well,
if training staff says you're good enough to go,
I'm pushing back.
You don't trust him.
I'm not saying I agree with Jaire. You're just making a lot of projections that make it unfair to Jaire. If the Packers trade Jaire Alexander and he finds if the Packers trade Jaire Alexander and he finds significant success next season somewhere else, who would be more upset with? Right now, 60% of fans say Jaire Alexander, 40% of fans say the Packers. Again, the Packers have whether it's obviously Devontae around his contract, Jordy Nelson around his contract. You look at David Bakhtiari and his knee. There are scenarios where the Packers are, and I'm not saying they're wrong in how they're operating here, but Jaire's not the only player who's been like, you know what, I feel a little bit more like a commodity here than a player.
I mean, we know a little bit with Boxney. He didn't want to play on grass. So that's a problem with your home games. Half of your football games.
He didn't want to play on turf.
And Bakhtiari's issue was also he re-injured it multiple times, too. Like, he had setbacks that were different than Jaire's situation. So, I mean, he had to get multiple surgeries because
right, but if I'm Jaire
worse.
and I see that the Packers kept on telling Bakhtiari to come back and play and he kept on getting setbacks.
They never told him to come back and play. It was that when he tried to play and then they found the first surgery wasn't actually as good enough as it needed to be. I mean, it was more of a problem with poor surgeries and horrible timing. The Bakhtiari situation is a bit of an outlier. And the other two situations with Jordy and Devontae, like, those are contract situations.
But
those
again, the
aren't health
player didn't
situations.
feel necessarily the love.
Don't you think that there's players across the league that feel that way? Any player who gets cut probably feels that way.
My whole point is I would call this mutual. Like, that's not how we're going to play this. I will vote that who am I going to be more upset with? I would say the fans would vote for Jaire, and I understand that. But I would say that the Packers, somewhere along the line, whether it was Goody, the front office, or the training staff, lost Jaire's trust. And that's not a one-person thing. I'm not saying the Packers are fully to blame on that. I'm not saying Jaire shouldn't have been more trustworthy. I'm just saying I'm not just going to wash my hands of blame for the Green Bay Packers. So honestly, the 60, when it was at 60-40, well, of course you are. You're a Packers fan. Jaire's going to be gone. Why would you care about him? Unless his name's Aaron Rodgers,
I
you don't
want
care.
him to be hurt.
Unless his name's Aaron Rodgers, the team's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
I don't want him to be injured, but I'm washing my hands of
I
this
think
one.
Packers fans have a right to be frustrated with how things have gone with Jaire. And from what we've heard is that a lot of it is also on Jaire refusing to put himself out there and possibly play through injury. That is the is the information we're operating based on.
If he doesn't trust the training staff, then he's not trusting what they're telling him.
True, but I think, like Matt said, some of his past behaviors and his past actions makes you believe that he's probably just not the most trustworthy person.
Yeah.
Trustworthy or trusting?
Trust either.
Okay.
I'm just at the point, like, right now, 7 games ain't worth the juice.
That I agree with. They need to trade him. Going
point.
back to he doesn't have a lot of trade value. When it was at 60-40, that's where I would put the blame. 60% Jaire, 40% Packers. That's how I would break it up.
Okay.
But I'm not a Packers fan. I'm just a objective observer. I don't care what people think of my Green Bay Packers or Jaire Alexander. I'm not going to run a guy out of town and then blame him for it. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
Get out of here.
Energy right to Texas. I'm just here to tell you, Packers back.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
You never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Save $9,400 off MSRP on a 2025 Silverado 1500 RST Crew Cab 4x4 and get financing as low as 2.4%. Includes 6420 discount, 500 customer cash, and 1,500 trade assistance rebate. Visit Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie and ZimbrickChevrolet.com for Dane County's largest selection of Chevys. Offer ends March 3rd. Never overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbliss.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates National Girls and Women in Sports Day all month long. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin's special program, Lead Her Forward, hosted by Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman, presented by Love Madison Volleyball. The show features a variety of special guests celebrating the achievements of women in sports. Listen to inspiring stories and hear how they're breaking barriers for future generations. Catch Lead Her Forward on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
You got a reaction. You got a reaction, didn't you? You took a wild orchid. You took a wild orchid and turned it blue. Something better than nothing.
Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's family jeweler, Madison's local and custom jeweler. Go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Tauscher goes there. Hamilton's gone there. Scalzo, Rutledge. All of us have gone to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio with us as well. Primetime will shine behind the glass. It is time now to throw some stones. Maybe.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, something caught my eye during our circle around Jaire Alexander conversation there before, because a lot of eyes on the NFL, including the officials. NFL considering replacing first down chains with Hawkeye virtual measurement. Starting next season, the NFL will replace first down chains with the Hawkeye virtual measurement system. NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent, and former Badger, told reporters Wednesday. Guys, what do you think about this? We've seen, the MLB considering having robot umps for the strike zone. I know in soccer they have like the VAR system to measure offsides, make it more as objective as humanly possible, or robotically possible, as I should say. What do you guys think about this? You guys for this, Matt Hamilton?
This just seems like another way the NFL can rig the games from the Chiefs' favor however they want. Like,
Chiefs win.
The robot said it was a first down. Like, they're clearly 1.5 yards short, but the robot said it was a first down. I don't know. Like, I understand the idea. I feel like there's a lot better ways that you can implement technology to help a football game. I don't think measuring for 10 yards is one of those things that is going to drastically make this game better. The chains are a 10-yard chain. It's hard to screw that up. I trust that. That is tangible. It's physical. When it comes to like replays and things like that. Like having a third set of eyes that's watching the game that can help make like a roughing the passer call or a pass interference call. That is something that I think would actually help and impact this game in a positive way. So trying to speed up the game so you can measure the first downs and measure whether Jalen Hurts got his tush push over the first down marker is a little bit of a stretch. Like, what are we doing here? This is not the necessary technology we're looking for in football.
You're gonna have to tell me to get off the lawn because I am for this. What do you feel about Major League Baseball is testing automated ball and strike? Like that's coming to Major League Baseball.
That's legit because that's a part of every single play. You're cutting down on a measurement for first down. Like what do you have? Like 4 of them a game.
You made that. You
so what?
You did the ham-handed Hamilton shot at the Chiefs, but like,
well, I'm okay. It was
but
just
here's the thing: the shot is more in the human air. In my understanding, if this is a lasered marked thing, the Josh Allen failed tush push that some people thought he got over, some people didn't. When it's marked,
well, I don't know. Chris Jones's big head was in the way.
It's still going to come down to the refs marking the ball.
But I'm guessing there's something in the ball.
No, I think there's just like a laser.
It's replacing first down chains. It's not replacing the marking. It's where the ball is marked by the refs.
Yes.
But it's more of an exact way of bringing out the chains and making sure that there's no error in when you're bringing out the measurement.
Which has happened.
Instead of running out the chain, so it's still going to rely on the accuracy of the ref to put it down. This is literally saving 4 instances a game where people actually have to measure with the chains.
But this is another step towards eliminating that issue because they are talking about putting a chip in the ball for the end zone too.
See,
like,
I'm
this
cool
is where
with
it's
that.
Going. But like in this case, then you should be cool with this. I don't understand the concern of it because here's the part of it. One, there have been times where, and they've shown video of it, the line crew screws up. It's just some random old, and you're anti-old. It's just some random olds that come out with a chain.
Yeah, they're getting like knocked around. Like I don't think this is a bad idea. I just think there's other things that need help right now. Figuring out how to quick hasten the game 4 plays out of the entire football game seems.
But it's also accuracy. Because if it's marked and you can just zip it,
yeah,
you don't
Jim,
have to worry about
it's literally only like 3 times a game
Not always.
that they're going to do it. Oh, come on. How many times does the chain crew get brought out to measure a first down? It can't be frequent.
Well, in the tush push era, it might be more frequent.
Hopefully the Packers nip that in the bud and that's out of here. So
this
just seems too short. I agree.
It's coming. Like
with the idea of it.
It's coming. I think it's honestly just a beta test for the other stuff. Like you're going to roll it out with this. To your point, maybe less stakes.
And then have I think what they need is the referee, the eye in the sky, where you have someone in New York or a referee watching.
But that takes longer than this. Like, what's the issue with laser? Just zip it. And
just because it just seems like, hey, we're going to throw some technology into something that doesn't really need it. And if it fails, it doesn't. It doesn't, though.
Look, it's all going this way. Like they do this in tennis.
How many times has the chain gang screwed up in the NFL season? If it's more than 5 in the season, I would hear this argument, but I can't imagine that they can't figure out where they started and where they got to be on the field when they measure the ball.
Okay, so
I think Matt brings up a good point, is that this is probably of the things that they could do to implement more like laser technology.
First step.
Exactly.
Maybe. I hope that's what all this is.
And I think that's where the disconnect is between you guys right now, because I think you agree. I think
both
of you feel like more of it is better, but the NFL, this is just how the NFL
Accuracy is
operates.
important.
Accuracy is important, but the NFL always wants to slowly roll things out.
But for me, the issue isn't where the chains were. It was where the ball is spotted. That's the accuracy issue that
Matt,
have.
I think this is step 1. Then you can talk about putting a chip in the ball, and then you can see where the ball is supposed to be. And then you talk about it at the end zone. Like I just think we're on the same page. I just think this is step 1.
And I think from what I've heard, like they have.
I just think this is a dumb step 1.
They have. It might be the only feasible one though, because I think I've heard they have chips in the ball already, but like it also depends on exactly where is the chip located within the ball, and unless they have 10,000 chips in the ball, you can't really use that as a way to properly measure where the ball should be downed. Because if it's in the center, then that chip's going to be off.
We have chipped curling stones that are in the center, and when you release them, they go over a magnet strip prior to the spot. But basically what I'm saying is they can account for if the chip is in the middle and it's another 6 inches to the point of the ball, they can figure that out.
All right, let me add to this here. So this is from
But I agree with you. I do want to chip the ball.
This would mean that all measurements for the line of scrimmage would be determined virtually, as opposed to by the referee. The official will still place the ball on the field, but this technology was also used during the preseason last year. For an example, said technology could overturn a call on the field regarding whether a ball carrier reached the line to gain for a first down. It's not the same as chip technology, but it could, in theory, have helped controversial spots like in the most recent AFC Championship game.
I don't know how it knows when the player's knee or elbow is down, but if it does help with that, then great. From what I heard, this was the chain gang. We're gonna mechanize the chain gang.
The
and
chain
I was
gang
like,
is remaining
cool.
as a backup.
Okay, good. Yeah, because those old dudes need something to do in retirement. Hanging out on the sideline, holding the chains.
I think
important.
your real point of contention here is that was your retirement plan, and now you're upset.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to settle for ball boy or something. That's okay.
Maybe you can just change up your retirement plan and just go to Ho Chunk Game in Madison, go be a winner. Go win millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars won every single week in the Ho Chunk Game in Madison. I'm not saying that should be how you plan for retirement, but it could help. Go to Ho Chunk Game in Madison, go be a winner. That's where winners go. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Jim, Matt, and Molly. No Molly Brown, but she returns next week. For Matt Hamilton, I'm Jim Rutledge. Live from the Everlight Solar Studios has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
See ya.